to the new members and to the old members that have found their way back to the community. I need you just as much as you need me in this evening's live. And we have a lot of topics that are going to end up unfolding here this evening, as it goes well beyond the charts here this evening for XRP. It goes well beyond the charts just even for our normal ebb and flows that we typically would talk about, as we've seen some documentation now that goes a little bit further here, and it shows that Ripple is planning on acquiring in totality 25% of the total supply of XRP, and that very well could be a reason why the price is so suppressed and why it's held down so much, because Ripple plans on owning such a large stake of the total supply. So we'll see how this ends up going here. We'll see what happens in this live, and we'll see the back and forth that we have. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, as it's always good to see the ones who end up showing up into the live. Luke, welcome in. Liz, I appreciate you tuning in. Says, I made it even before it started. So excited. Sending love out to Julie, you and the family. Liz, we greatly, greatly appreciate that love. And thank you, along with Mo, for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Meteor. Juan, welcome in. Glad I got to make the live. Thank you, Tom, for your consistency, passion, and dedication to the XRP community. Once XRP reaches true potential, I'll take you and the family out for dinner. Sounds good, Juan. Yes, everybody, hit that like button like Mo said. Thank you, Mo. Shane Gross, welcome in. Good morning to you, friend. XRP, Ricky Ripple, CJ2 Violet, thank you both for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. Davis Kennedy, welcome in. Messi, welcome in, brother. Tony Carter, hashtag mother second choice, hashtag M2C. Thank you for being in Tom's Army, Mr. Carter, for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. And I know you're close to the 3-year badge, the XRP Diamond Hands badge. I can't wait to see you supporting that one either, or as well. JW, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over one year with the I Told You So badge. I did not even see the app, what you were kidding about. Whoops. Well, maybe I'll see it again. Vage, welcome in. Good to see you in here this evening, my friend. The Gatman, good evening, and thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years. Did they just disconnect me already? I can't tell. I heard the disconnection sound, but it looks like everything's good. Good evening, Della. Welcome in. Marco, welcome. Nick Morales, good evening. Glad to see you all here. I know, Mr. Carter, I can't wait for your next badge either. I can't. I want to see some with that one to show their longevity. App people don't. Oh, the app people that don't hit the like button. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense because it doesn't necessarily show it on the app, which is kind of interesting at that. We've got this evening, we see the XRP Bitcoin pairings up 1.46%. We've got XRP just up about 0.3% to just over 49 cents. Bitcoin's down about 700 points. It's come up about 700 points from the bottom here today, though, so we'll see what that entails. We've got Casper that I still have my eye on. It's severely oversold here in the daily, and the weekly's catching up to being severely oversold. The daily's out of whack. And after this close today, it's going to be even worse. But if you are watching right now, because we're going to have to get into some news and notes here. The big story here, though, that we've got to talk about is that there is a document found here, and Ripple plans to own 25 billion XRP tokens. They're planning on keeping 25 billion tokens, which means they're planning on holding 25% of the entire circulating supply. So it's going to be very interesting. We'll go through this. It'll be very interesting to see what we decide and to see what we actually what comes to us when we're reading this, because it makes it much more clear why the price is so suppressed with what's actually in the works, what Ripple's actually planning. And if anybody's seen what came out of California yesterday, we talked about it during the live. So they refused to go to trial, and they got rid of 4 of the counts where they were trying to say that XRP was a security, unregistered security, yada, yada, yada. Well, there was one charge that they decided to go forward with when it came to Brad Garlinghouse, and they said he misrepresented what he was saying, because he said he was planning on holding XRP, or he was holding XRP for the long term, but at the same time it showed that he was actively selling, even though he said that he was holding. So I mean, there's more being made of that than there really is, but that's something that's deteriorating or deterring some XRP investors. The other thing that's starting to deter people is obviously this news that's coming out that Ripple plans to hold 25% of the entire supply. And then they plan on, and we'll go over what they're planning on doing with it. So there's a lot more than meets the eye with XRP. If you want to trade XRP, if you're looking to copy trade with me, which I see some people have signed up on HOTCOIN. I see some people are having issues as well. So there is a second alternative here. And it's just as good. I can copy trade. I'm getting that all worked out. It should be working tomorrow. But through BLOFIN, that's in the video description below and our pinned comments. If you're not having the success that you want with HOTCOIN, or if it's not working, I told you I'd have another solution as well. So there's BLOFIN in the video description below and pinned comments as well. If you don't want to use HOTCOIN, or if you're already on BLOFIN, or if you want to move over there, that's up to you. But I'll be able to do copy trading on there as well. It'll be approved for tomorrow. So that's something that you can look in the video description below and our pinned comments if you want to go on that exchange as well. There, and I'll bring more and more information to BLOFIN, but the utilization is much easier, and there's a wide variety of tokens. You're not going to get as big of a selection, but the biggest thing there is your key's not actually owned by the exchange. So if you're trying to get away from, let's say the exchange went away, your money would still be available. It would still be sitting there. So there's different things that we're starting to see in the evolution of crypto, and we're trying to stay on the same page together. So it's up to you. If you want to copy trade with me, HOTCOIN, obviously take a look there. It's in the video description below and our pinned comments. USA users and worldwide users have two different links, so make sure when you click on it, if you're outside the USA, it says overseas. And then BLOFIN is worldwide. Neither of them I have to use a VPN. I haven't done any KYC on either of them. So if you want to join me and you don't have the luxury on HOTCOIN, please take a look at BLOFIN as well. Or if you don't like HOTCOIN, I advise you to look over there. Well, I'll talk more about the other exchange in the days to come as well. But there's a lot of opportunity for us to link up here. As you know, it's hard to trade in the USA, but there's always an option. There's always an alternative if we keep our eyes open and we stay vigilant. BITUNIX I'm still trading on. It's just that they're very limited in my selection of what I can use. So I've tried and I've tried and I've tried to make it advantageous for us so that we can stay ahead of the curve. Liz Taylor, thank you so much for the $20 donation. I greatly appreciate that, on top of being part of Tom's Army for over 6 months. That's incredibly generous. Says he's willing to sell his house for his son. I'm willing to spend my savings for Tom, Julian, their son. This is a good family. I appreciate that, Liz. Yeah, I was. Had it have gotten too serious in the hospital, I was absolutely all set to do that. You guys all heard my plan. Wales, Josie Wales, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Meteor. Or over 3 months with the XRP Meteor. I greatly appreciate that continued support. So let me timestamp this, and we got to get into this. There's so much stuff. There's so much stuff. On copy trading, it's not as much with an exchange. On an exchange, it's about knowing. Like knowing how to set it up. Is that what you're talking about? Are you talking about that? As it is with knowing how. I gotcha. Okay. So, knowing how to actually copy trade. So, if you are following on one of those exchanges, if it's on HOTCOIN right now, because it's already set up, and there's 23 of you that have followed the copy trading right now. I haven't made a single trade yet for copy trading, but it's coming. But you have to, so what you would have to do is you click on my link, it links you up to my account. Then you have to go into the copy trade section and type in XRP Future MIL, and then just follow me. And then it'll be set up for my copy trading. That's all you have to do. And then it'll have your own set of conditions. Trading with J-Ride, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. Vage, thank you so much for the $20 donation. Wow, 2 donations already to start, and I haven't even done the intro yet. That's unbelievable. Thank you both for the generosity so much, Vage. I greatly appreciate it, and Liz, both of you, thank you. Tanya May, welcome in, and thanks for being on Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. And we will look at HBAR as well as Casper tonight as well. So let me get into the intro. We got to get through this. Good evening. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Friday, June 21st, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. And I'm excited to be able to bring us closer and closer together on exchanges that are more welcoming of USA users without the VPN. In the future, it might change, but as of today, you know, you don't have to use a VPN to sign up to these exchanges, and we can stay closer knit. So XRP right now, we're up 0.27% on the day. We're sitting right around 48.96 cents. We did get rejected around the 50.2 cent level. That was the 200-day resistance. The 3-hourly and 4-hourly speaks it in that area. 4-hourly, we really need to push back over the 505 level. And yes, XRP looks a little green right now, but that, unfortunately, doesn't look like the most bullish of candles here. And that actually could be a gravestone doji setup here in disguise. Or it's going to end up having some top-end pressure and will close over 49 cents and it'll try to push back up. But right now, I'm not exactly intrigued by that candle. 3-hourly, it's pretty much the same deal. We don't know, though, if it's just going to end up being more of like the inverted hammer variety. But right now, it looks a little weak to me. Being on the bottom side of that 50.5 cents, we want to see it go over the top end here. We really, really do. George, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XP Meteor. Says, I've been missing the lives lately, but been catching up. Always managed to catch up. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Somebody asked me, what's my realistic price for XRP following a lawsuit? Honestly, let's just say the lawsuit was finished today. The first thing you're going to see is XRP push over, and we can go over this together. You would see it push over this cup and handle formation, and it's a great question. So we have the cup and handle formation. The first thing you would see is a quick spike up to that 66 cent mark. The moment it gets on top here, you'd get that spike up to the handle resistance of 93.5, and that should happen relatively quickly. Our first real target, once this handle breaks, is $1.14. Actually, it's a little bit higher. It's like $1.15, $1.14, $1.16. So it's $1.16. I theorize once we finally get the resolution, especially a favorable one, you're going to come back up and retest in time that $1.97. And the reason I say that is, watch what starts happening here in the all-time pattern consolidation. I love when I get questions like this, because then I can show my speculation to a deeper extent. So if it's your first time in here, you're going to be like, what the hell is going on? So that's all-time highs in January 2018. This is March of 2020. 27 months later, when it finally hit the floor support at just over 10 cents. Resistance again in 21 at $1.98. Support, resistance, and now it's working in between support and resistance. So the importance of this is, if we do get a settlement, or there's a resolution, I should say. So you got this. I believe this is building a massive W reversal right now. I mean, if you look at this in totality, after the massive 80-month consolidation, if this works out properly, we could be getting in time when it finally comes back through. This looks like the tailor-made workings of a W reversal. Now, I've always speculated that if this happens and we round the bottom and it does come up here, we should have some kind of consolidation on the handle that would give us the steam to push us up to that all-time high. I believe we're working on a massive W reversal in the entirety of the XRP pattern. And that's why right here we got rejected, and now we're coming through. And one could argue that maybe this whole entire thing is something more than meets the eye. But I believe in time, my target's always been, I think XRP, even if it taps itself out, it has the testicular fortitude to reach that $10 mark. And for some people, that's not, oh my God, it's $10, Tom. People are saying thousands. To me, my expectation is for XRP to teeter on that $10 mark when appropriate, and then to go from there. Like I've always said, $10, if somebody buys it at $10 and they make 100% to $20, they're going to be very happy. But if you buy it where we bought it at 35, or hell, let's go on today's terms, 50 cents we'll just say, and it's under that. Every time it goes up $1, you 2x, which means every time it goes up $10, that person who 100%ed you 2,000%. And that's not a joke. So, yeah, these times are unsavory, they're unfounded, they're unwanted. Nobody wants to trade these times. But these are the times where the rich people are made. Not in the moment. In the time. See, It's never about the destination. It's about the journey. Anybody can buy it in the destination and be at $20. You can buy it at $15 and be like, I'm up $5 a token. It's about the journey. It's about the journey. Look at the journey from 21 into 22 and now into 20. All these moments. All these moments. That's why XRP was never meant for the faint of heart. Hell, it's not even meant for retail. I always say this, but I'm continuing to push that point. We're finding concrete evidence of why the price is so kept in a range like a stable coin. Why it's so manipulated down. It's very simple now. We see it's made that way, not just for institutions that continue to accumulate, but for Ripple to hold 25% of the total circulating supply in totality of XRP when it's set and done of 25% out of the total supply of 100 billion. They want 25 billion tokens. So there's a reason why retail gets slandered. There's a reason why they don't want retail eating up these tokens, and why you see so much, not just misrepresentation, but why we get so much deception when it comes to the people who talk about XRP. Why so many are so willing to mislead us. I firmly believe we're not supposed to hold it, and there's a reason why, and we're starting to see in this document that has been founded by the community, that's something that isn't to be taken lightly. That's another black eye when you look at how to get retail involved. Maybe they don't want retail involved. Maybe that's why you're seeing the XRP influencer die out day by day. Maybe the incentive's just not there and they're not getting it from the inside sources, let's say. Maybe they're not getting the pay they used to get to talk about it. There's a lot of things that can be going on that aren't meeting the eye. But I think before we get deep dive into here, to go deep into this, I look at it this way. We need to have all the information from an education, a charting, and news perspective. So let's take a little bit of a look at XRP. Up 0.27%. We're still within this short-term consolidation. And I know it's painful, ladies and gentlemen, to be stuck within consolidation in the accumulation phase. A lot of people, it's the most boring, it's the most unopportune moment, and it's the time that most people will not pay attention to. And you often hear, XRP needs to break this price point to get interest out of retail. XRP needs to push $1 for retail to come back. That doesn't mean institutions are staying away. That means retail is going to be late to the party like always. Hoping XRP takes XLM and XDC. It absolutely will. Where XRP goes, XLM definitely goes. And XDC would definitely be on the forefront as well. There's no doubt about that. There is no doubt about that. The 3 X's are equally important. XRP just has its own slew of, let's just say it has its own direction compared to the other two. But right now in the weekly, we've got this massive reversal that I'm very much looking forward to with XRP. That's a doji candle. That's a long leg doji. And after a period of down, that signifies a trend reversal here. And this pattern's only got, or this candle's only got 49 hours left now. The daily, it's a little top heavy here, so that could be a hammer candle in the daily. It looks like it. 4 hourly, like I said, some might say that that's a gravestone. It could very well be setting itself up as an inverted hammer. So it's hard to judge right now. 3 hourly, same deal. 2 hourly is definitely set up as more of an inverted hammer. The hourly is an engulfing to the top side, so it's trying to make a little bit of noise here. 45, 30, same thing. But we still need to find some volume for XRP, and we need to get over that critical 50.5 cent. Otherwise, we're going to teeter on this range here, and I don't want to cloud up a bunch of stuff, but this is the short-term consolidation. So it's either going to be able to push up this range and break out of it, or it's going to continue to consolidate, and that means it could drop back to 46.60 in this short term. But it did have a rather strong bounce back here in the late term here, so I'm glad to see it's over even right now, and it's got a little bit of momentum here leading into the daily close. That's always a positive sign. Seeing the XRP Bitcoin pairing still up 1.19% despite what we're seeing today. It's at the 763 sat level. Continuously is attempting to push this range. It's just we're forming more of a, we need to get out of this range. Otherwise, it could force us all the way back down. I've seen instances where we start to teeter like this and then it forces us back down. So 4 hourly, it's tough. I would like to say it's a bona fide reversal candle here in the 4 hourly. But it does seem, at least, if it could get up here to the 763 and stay around 767, I'd be much more comfortable. It gives the appearance, though, that it might want to come down to like the 759, 757 level before the close. It's very an indecisive candle right now. We're very indecisive. Could be used as a reversal here to the top side as well. But we've got to watch this, see if it plays up and we can gain some bullish momentum here as the close continues. Bitcoin's down 665.73 points to 64,204. It's very important to stay on top of Bitcoin, as we know we're on the outside of a pennant flag, but that doesn't mean that Bitcoin won't come down and retest this around, in current times, 61,100 area. So we very much could test that, and that's about 3,400 point drop. Will the bear market affect XRP? Well, the good news is XRP's never come out of its bear market. XRP's still in a bear market rally. So, I mean, everybody says the flip of the switch. I don't necessarily like that term because I don't think it's like a light switch where something's just going to be flipped. I believe what's being talked about is when we go full-on digitized. That's when the real flip happens, because more of crypto will be widely embraced. That's what I hear from flip of the switch. We go from paper to digital. I don't think there's some grand conspiracy about how it's going to go to $1,000 from today to tomorrow. I don't believe that. I believe that this is going to happen in a very traditional-like way. So Bitcoin, outside of the pennant flag, it's been a descending consolidator way. And we would have to garner some interest here. If it continues to find the sellers, Bitcoin could find itself down here at 61,100. If not, and we end up garnering some positivity, Bitcoin very well could end up making a breakback for 69,000. Now, there's an interesting thing, and Tanya shared this with me. There's a very interesting thing, and I might have to grab it from my email because my Telegram, for some reason, isn't working on my tablet. But it shows the liquidity zones. It shows the liquidity zones for Bitcoin. And I found it pretty interesting when I seen this. It shows the liquidity map as of June 20th. So I'm going to forward this to... I know where I'll forward it to the Facebook. I'm going to copy this, Tanya, and I'm going to show this to everybody because I think this is very, very, very valuable information here. This liquidity, I like stuff like this. I personally like stuff like this when someone shares this. Actually, you know what? I'll share it on Twitter. No, I want to post it to Twitter. And I think it's valuable. And I know some of you might leave because this is taking a second, but I promise you, with what we have to get to, we barely just started this live. We barely just started this live. So, let me just save this picture. Actually, no, yeah, I'll just share it to TikTok or to Twitter. So I just shared it. Let me pull this up. Thank you, Tanya, for that, by the way. I really do thank you for that. So, let me get into this. I can't see anything. I can't see anything. There we go. All right, so Tanya shared this. So we have a liquidation map on June 20th. So $9 billion worth of shorts will be liquidated at $73,000. $1.5 billion of longs will be liquidated at $63,000. So if you're looking at it, we can hammer out a bunch of liquidity, and by coming down where we did to 63,000 plus earlier, you know, if we do hit 63,000 and then have a massive reversal up to 73, I could totally see this, and that would be $10.5 billion worth of liquidity for Bitcoin. And you know, Bitcoin loves to hunt the liquidity zones. We love to hunt the liquidity zones. So I think this is what's going on. Got cut off. Oh, some of you got cut off. Interesting. Yeah, try to restart the live. It gave me a little issue when I first started, but I'm hoping it works through it on its own. So far it has. It's not pushing the notifications out. Well, I mean, it never does. So that's what's going on with Bitcoin. So look how close we are in Bitcoin at 63,000. We're 1,100 points away. But remember, we came down to 63,000. Bro, is it 63,385? So I guarantee you a massive amount of those liquidations already took place. And we very well might find ourselves all the way down at 63. But now we have to look at the massive liquidation that sits there at 73K. That's a lot of liquidation for Bitcoin, especially if it wanted to come up and then decide the pattern's done with. That's a lot of liquidation to bring us crashing through. I just think there's a reason why MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor and all them bought so much more Bitcoin above these levels. It seems every time they do, after a few weeks of consolidation and break down a price, it ends up going higher than it was, or at least retest the old levels. I would not be surprised with that amount of standing liquidations at 73K, now exceeding 9 billion. I would be shocked if they don't touch it. I would be shocked. Absolutely shocked. In 63K, it came down close to tapping all of that 1.3 billion in short liquidations, or long liquidations, by coming down to 63K. It was right at 63,300 and some change. So it liquidated a ton of short, long traders as well on that drop. So now let's talk about some of this. Has anybody heard about this? Has anybody heard this? About how Ripple plans on owning 25% of the entire stake of XRP? Has there been anybody who's heard about this out of curiosity? So XRP Army finds Ripple's intent to retain most XRP for development efforts. Ripple's recent revelation has shaken the XRP Army, who discovered it through a company document. Ripple plans to hold on to a massive chunk of XRP, aiming to retain 25% of the total XRP supply. So what do we make of this? What do we make of this? What do we make of this? So, I mean, this is the protocol. If anybody's interested, you can click on that to get the official document from the company. But what do we think of this? And we've gone over that document so many times. This decision means that Ripple will keep 25 billion XRP tokens, valued at approximately 12.5 billion, to support its operations and ideally generate profit. I mean, it's years old news, but it's just a document that coincides. It's news, yes, but you know, it's something to be noted. It's something to be noted. And there's more documentation that comes out to validate this. See, we could speculate it years ago based on the white papers, but now we're actually seeing new evidence that actually supports this. So given that only 100 billion XRP will ever be issued, this retention is a huge portion of the total supply. The document also points out that Ripple doesn't charge for using its network because it's not a financial services provider. So, yes, this is old news, but the newest news that comes out with this is because of what happened in the last couple of days and what was said. Instead, it makes money through its native currency, XRP. By keeping 25% of all XRP, Ripple plans to fund its operations and make a profit, aligning its goals with those of its users. As the demand for XRP grows, its value should increase, benefiting both Ripple and its users. And this has always been my argument of why you should not cut bait. If Ripple is going to stand behind such a large portion, you've already got those accounted for. If retail ever comes in to scoop it up and there's a supply crisis or supply shock, especially with the stable coin coming in, the RLUSD, with the real world assets that are going to find their way onto the XRP ledger later this year, and just a lot of the other stuff through the adoption and through the integration through the institutions and also the banking sector, there could come a moment, and there should come a moment, where the appreciation, it's unfounded by most. They're just not going to understand why it's appreciating so much in value. So Ripple plans to distribute the remaining 75% of XRP by giving incentives to market makers, gateways, and consumers, hoping to increase the use and scalability of its protocol. The more participants there are in the ecosystem, the higher the demand for XRP, which could drive up its value. A key part of Ripple's strategy is using XRP as a bridge currency. The Ripple network is set up to make all balances easily convertible to XRP, which simplifies transactions. This means XRP can act as a universal intermediary currency, making it easy to exchange with any other currency on the network. If XRP is increasingly used as an intermediary currency, users who are unsure of what currency they will need may choose to hold XRP. Since it readily translates into all other assets on the network, market makers are one type of user for which this could be the case, but one can easily think of others as well. So, I mean, I find it interesting that more news is coming of this, because we've always speculated that they were going to hold on to a large portion, and we speculated why. But now it's becoming more well known of how much they're going to hold, and I think that's important. So the ripples, and this is something important, what's going on in California. Some of you heard about the early news related to this yesterday if you were watching the live, but this is more updated on what's actually going on. So the Ripple COO and speculation on XRP status in California. So Ripple's chief legal officer, Stuart Elderly, has clarified the legal status of XRP in California. And this is updated from yesterday, addressing recent concerns following a court ruling. The token, owned by San Francisco-based Ripple, has been under scrutiny as a civil securities lawsuit in Oakland moves forward. As reported by You Today yesterday, the district court judge allowed the lawsuit to move forward, ruling that it would be up to a jury to decide whether XRP qualifies as security for retail buyers on exchanges. However, Alderodi emphasized that the California judge dismissed all allegations, suggesting that Ripple violated federal security laws. The only remaining claim in California, based on a 2017 declaration, involves state law and is scheduled for trial. The plaintiff in that case, who did not purchase XRP directly from Ripple and is uncertain whether he was affected by the 2017 statement, reportedly lost a small amount of money on his trades. I mean, that's all that non-conjectural, let's blame the actual asset we're trying to buy instead of our poor trading. This will amount to nothing. Well, it is California, maybe they'll amount to a little bit of something. But this has no basis. This is like me saying I'm trading an asset, I made a poor trade and I want my money back. It happens all the time in the stock market. It always ends up getting thrown out in the end. It's no different right now in crypto. Ripple looks forward to cross-examination in the matter, Elderodi said. One state law claim based on a 2017 statement is going to trial. This is official X statement. The plaintiff, who didn't buy directly from Ripple and can't say if he even heard the statement before he traded, allegedly lost a couple $100. We look forward to the cross-examination. Again, like I said, doesn't want to blame himself or themselves for a poor trade, and now they're looking to, take the easy way out. This decision stands in contrast to an earlier ruling by Judge Annalise Torres, who found that secondary sales of XRP were not securities. A decision that initially appeared to favor Ripple, thus the popular cryptocurrency is not classified as security in New York, a position that remains unchanged. The latest development follows a pattern of inconsistent rulings from state to state, highlighting the need for federal legislation to provide a consistent regulatory framework for cryptocurrency, which I vehemently disagree about the framework. I do not want regulations. Do you want this volatility in the way it is? Do you want to be able to make massive amounts of profit and be able to accumulate in massive amounts of times of uncertainty where it seems like manipulation is running rampant and then all of a sudden it works in your favor? If they do put a rampant legislation in, it's going to be just like crypto. They're going to be able to halt. I mean, imagine it like the stock market where Ripple is running too fast and they halt it. That is in a regulatory framework sense what they could do. They could put in, let's just say, levies into place in case something happens too volatilely one way or the other. And that's not what you want. It's not what you want. What's behind, and then this is the other big news to note today. Ripple moves 250 million XRP, but from everything I can see, it was moved into a wallet. Is this because they're just continuing to acquire? Or is this because they're getting ready for some kind of massive move with the SEC? We don't know. We don't know. Ripple's 250 million XRP transfer has sparked speculation, highlighting market uncertainty amid a bearish trend. Welcome in Cape Cod Kyle, Mr. Kyle Kubiak, and being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XP Meteor. It's not showing it right now, but it does every so often. So I know exactly where you stand in the Army. But what's going on here is Ripple, through the documents it shows, and it's confirmed as well, that they want to own 25% of the total supply of XRP, which stands at about 25 billion tokens, is what they aim to own. So that's something that's pretty interesting to me. That's something I've been talking about It's not the first time we've talked about this, but it's just becoming more rampant. Burton, welcome in and thanks for tuning in as well. John Jones heard that rumor yesterday. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So XRP trading activity increased by 9.28% despite a 1.15% price dip, showing heightened market engagement. Options open interest rises by 15.02%, indicating more held contracts despite a 46.56% drop in trading volume. Ripple Labs transfer of $250 million. Hey, Mr. Carter, you be safe out there and have a blessed evening, my friend. I hope everybody, or I hope you have a blessed evening and that you've had a great day, my friend, and everything health-wise is working out for you. You know, as we get a little bit older, we're the same age. We got to make sure that we stay on top of that in the best way we know how. So Ripple Labs transfer of 250 million XRP to an unknown wallet has sparked speculation within the cryptocurrency community, especially considered the current bearish market conditions and the company's ongoing legal battle with the SEC. The June 21st transaction, flagged by on-chain tracker Whale Alert, has raised questions about the company's strategic intentions for the digital asset. I mean, if they're putting it onto into their wallet, they plan on it appreciating for them before they sell more. And this is what I was talking about, ironically. MicroStrategy makes enormous Bitcoin purchase. That's all I want to talk about here. So MicroStrategy's enormous Bitcoin purchase announced by Michael Saylor on June 20th via his X platform. He announced a massive purchase of MicroStrategy. The company acquired 11,931 Bitcoin worth $786 million, with the average price per coin constituting $65,883. Currently, the company owns a total of 226,331 Bitcoin, making it the largest corporate holder of Bitcoin. The funding for the purchase was provided by MicroStrategy's recent debt sale. Prior to that, the company announced that it had completed its $800 million convertible note offering. However, the acquisition, despite its massive size, did not have much of an effect on the market, as it was mostly priced in after MicroStrategy upsized its debt sale last week. So that's what's going on with MicroStrategy's massive purchase I was talking about. So they're betting on the fact that this rally isn't over. And they're betting on it's not over by a long shot. They're betting on the fact that this isn't over by a long shot, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what we're watching there. So, and your personal interpretation. Do you think... Oh, guys. Hold on one sec, everybody. Come here, Tommy. Julie, you walk outside. Hi, Tommy. I know, it's okay, son. Yeah, it's okay. He's doing his live. You can walk around. It's fine, you can walk around. What's the matter? So, I apologize, everybody. So, trying to make sure my son's okay, but I'll be right back. I'll be right back. What's the matter? What's the matter? Okay. So I'll see how much longer I can do this. If he needs me more, I'm gonna end up walking over there, as most of you know. We'll lose a lot of people over this. I get it. I get it. Not everybody wants to wait around while I have to go back and forth. I completely understand. So while I have the chance real quick, Casper right now is at the 2050 level. We talked about yesterday possibly it being able to form this double bottom. It was around 205. It came down a little bit farther, and we talked about the possibility of a long W Gartley reversal. And now it came down a little bit farther. We've got this support structure here at about 2036. We have a reversal candle possibly trying to take effect here in the 4 hourly. 3 hourly's got a lot of top end pressure. But the 2031 is where it came down to. And now if it can bounce off of here, this very well could be that double tap here. It's a little bit lower here. A little bit lower. But we're trying to see. I see in the 2 hourly it could come down to 2021 maybe. But we'll see. We'll see if it can hold this support structure. And we'll see if it can pull out of here. It's severe. When you look at this in the daily though, we are severely oversold. And this is just going to make it even more oversold here. Honestly. This is just going to make it even more oversold. And I think Casper's lining up for a heck of an opportunity here. I really, really, really do. There's a heck of an opportunity setting up here. When you become so oversold in an asset class, you have to start paying serious attention to it, especially when you start getting into the daily and the weekly. And the weekly's even touched into the oversold. It's going to probably make it even worse with the way it's going in this weekly. Unless we get a strong pullback by the end of the weekend. But right now, it's really trying to reverse here. It's showing a lot of signs of reversing here for Casper. 4 hourly's teasing it as well. We would if it was gonna actually close over though, it's starting to trend a little bit too far down in this direction. We'd want to see it break back up towards 208. It looks like it's trending down towards that lower support possibly here. So, but I'm gonna have to go here, guys, because my son is he's a little emotional right now. So I just want to look at HBAR real quick for Tanya, as it's still riding this breakout point, Tanya. And if it can hold this downtrending support down here at the 7-8 level, this could be an opportunity for a little breakout here for HBAR as well. If it falls back within this line of support, we could find ourselves down at 7-2 or maybe even lower down 6-7. But this is where you want to see the back test and the confirmation of a breakout. So I apologize for ending the stream about 18 minutes sooner than normal, but I've got to go. Have a blessed evening, everybody.